Welcome to another episode of the 11 O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Noah, and tonight I am joined by our guest, Jackson. Tonight we will be talking about emotional highs and lows, and just in general how to navigate them a little bit better. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Anyways, essentially what we're bringing to attention tonight is highs and lows, obviously. But we're understanding when is it okay to be in the lows and be in our highs. And we also need to be okay when we are in our lows to understand that things are ultimately going to get better. And when we're in those highs, we need to learn to not be boastful and understand that life can always go back to being low again and kind of sad and barren and unjoyful. It's something that hurts as well to learn because, in our highs we want to celebrate. We want to brag, but it's self-control that comes with that too. And ultimately, we need to understand how we individually react in our highs and lows so we can better understand how we act in those highs and lows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, essentially what we need to bring attention to, it's okay to be in a not necessarily sad time in your life, but more of a not so great time. Like, I will say a death that's in the family, or even if it's a friend that passed away, that's a pretty low point in life. Relationships ending, that's also low. Relationships, trouble as well, that's also a low point. There's several low points, and we have to understand that it's okay to be in those low points.
Well, I think, Noah, what you're describing is kind of like a roller coaster in your life. You gotta think your life is a roller coaster. You get on at one point, and that's your birth. This roller coaster ends when you get back to that point. Of course, you're not gonna go back in the womb because that'd be freaking weird. But other than that, I think you gotta think roller coasters have ups and downs, and so does life. So even though life could be fun, even though you're at the sad part of the roller coaster. I mean, every roller coaster has that climb hill, and everyone gets scared of that climb hill because they don't know what's happening next. You don't know if you're gonna go sideways or down. Everyone knows you're gonna go down, but you don't know what happens which way when you go down. So you have to think of life as that sort of direction, as in you're going down to the side. Life may have the highs that you want in life, like you get a relationship, but you understand that relationship come with struggles on that descent within that relationship.
Well, so do roller coasters. For example, peeing my pants.
So I think it's just a you thing.
That's not just a me thing.
It's definitely
little kids do it all the time. I don't.
You're a grown man. Well, grown man is the sense you don't have a beard, but that's besides the point.
Ish.
No, there's nothing there.
No, not the beard-ish, grown-ish man. Like, I'm not fully a man yet either.
Yeah, you just built a Lego set.
They're cool.
Okay, can we go get
Anyway,
the topic?
yes. So, anyways, roller coaster, and then I was gonna say, oh yeah. So, in the words of a young DJ Khaled, if he's not copyrighted, life is Roblox, which translated to English means life has roadblocks. Sometimes you just gotta get over them.
Yeah.
Because for some reason he said Roblox.
Yeah, obviously he didn't say Roblox as in the game.
I think he said Roblox.
He definitely didn't say
He said Roblox as in the game.
No, he definitely didn't. But life does have roadblocks. When you're going in a parking lot, you got those speed bumps. Everyone wants to zoom as fast as they can.
That's gonna kill you.
It's pretty stupid to zoom over speed bumps, but those speed bumps are there and to help you get through it slowly and carefully. Life is like a constant stream of water. It's always going, it's always...
Not really, because it ends at some point.
Well, not really. Water's always moving. The ocean is always moving.
So you're saying after we die...
You keep going?
Well, obviously if...
Depending on your religion. I mean, if you believe in reincarnation, definitely. But I mean, that's not what we're here to talk about.
No. Definitely wouldn't want to get into that shebang.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, as well, we have to understand that it's fine to be on our highs too, because you have to be able to enjoy life just as much as you not necessarily dislike life, but as much as you are sad, you deserve to be happy at some points too. But also, happiness shouldn't just revolve around the situations. Happiness should also come from just genuine living and find joy in the little things. It doesn't always have to be a big thing like a new phone or getting an Xbox or a computer or getting gifts at Christmas even. And we'll go into the Christmas thing on our Christmas special coming out December 25th.
We will have the real Santa Claus. The real Santa Claus will be with us.
He will?
Yeah, he will.
He will?
Yeah, I have connected.
Flip yeah!
Yeah, one of my friends is actually an elf for his workshop. We'll get her to bring him. So we're gonna get her to bring Santa. So
if they're listening, they know who they are.
They're probably not, because she has better things to do with her time.
Fair enough. Anyways, look forward to that. It will be dropping instead of 11 o'clock at night. It will be dropping at Christmas morning. So if you have nothing better to do besides opening presents and obviously the true meaning of Christmas, which we will discuss as well.
Can we watch the VeggieTales about it? Because that brings up really good points. Not just because it's a religion.
Just to recap on what Christmas is truly about.
Yeah. So we should watch the VeggieTales.
Not right now.
Later.
Anyways, back on point. So, I don't know our next key point. Okay. So, in your lows, it's okay to be in the lows, and you have to understand that in those points that life feels bad, it's just not going the way you want it to go. Sometimes it's just something saying you're either not ready for the highs yet, or you're just not ready for what's to come yet, or you may just be waiting for time. Because sometimes you just have to mature over time. And that still accounts for the waiting, yes.
I think we can bring this back to the roller coaster analogy. You may really want to ride that roller coaster at the theme park. You really may want to ride it, but you don't have the height limit. You're not there yet, You're still like 5'2" or 5 foot, and it may say be 5'4" or 5'3", which I don't know what roller coaster would exclude that, but the point I mean.
Well, some people have like a height limit.
Yeah.
Like the rock coaster at Universal.
Yeah. But back to what I was saying about the
roller coaster,
the height
limit.
The height limit thing, right?
Yes.
You may really want to ride that thing, but that thing is there to protect you for a reason. You may jump into a relationship and may want to take it farther, but there's a reason that you're with that certain person. Everything in that relationship can't just be happy, go fun times all the time.
No, it is so.
It shouldn't be though. A relationship shouldn't be easy all the time. It shouldn't be hard all the time. It should be a nice intermediate, like when you play Cuphead. It should be like a base Cuphead difficulty.
Essentially what my friend is saying here is roller coasters have to be well balanced. You have to have, in the words of Planet Coaster 1 and 2, you have to have the right amount of excitement, the right amount of nausea, and the right amount of scary to get an overall score of significance. Because essentially, if you're not getting the numbers right, and you shouldn't be worried in life about getting the numbers right. That is a last thing.
Unless you're in math class, then you should totally get the numbers right there. Cause it's like
no, I get the numbers wrong there too. Okay. It's not like people's lives depend on it. Unless it's the NASA rocket ship launches. Then definitely numbers matter.
Oh yeah.
Anyways though, to continue on with that, life has to kind of be well balanced. You can't always live in happy-go-lucky land, because the second things start to go wrong, it feels almost as if life is collapsing. And the reason that is because we are used to those happy-go-lucky moments. And it sucks because yes, we want to enjoy our time here. We want to live. But if we are not doing these things properly, we're always in a high and we're never in a low. And the excitement starts to become bland. So we start seeking more and more things to excite ourselves. but nothing will ever be able to excite you the same again. So, it's urged in a way that you seek not necessarily sadness, but
You seek something to extend that excitement.
just know your limits of happiness, because yes, things can be going extremely well, but if you think that's how it's always going to be, you're wrong.
Nothing should be ever too easy.
In the words of, there was Pony Boy and the other dude,
Johnny?
Nothing gold can ever stay, or something
Johnny
like that.
said that. Did you not read the book?
I did. It's just been a while.
Uh-huh. The likely story.
I've been reading Lord of the Rings.
That's not a
Had better. Anyways, yeah, 6 movies. Wait, that's wrong because A Hobbit is its whole other thing. No, it's kind of the Lord of the Ring universe.
7 movies. They're coming out with an animated one.
Interesting.
It looks kind of mid, but that's besides the point.
And yeah, so anyways, to get back into it, you just have to be used to your highs and you have to be used to your lows. You can't live by highs and you can't live by lows, because both are really just awful ways to live. And you may think that, yes, the lows would be absolutely horrible to live by, but the highs as well, that will really get you, because the second things go wrong is when you're just not prepared.
It's like a shake. They complement each other well, like fries and a shake. They both complement each other. But
And then when you dip the fry in the shake. I've actually never dipped fries in a shake because I think that's absolutely
you
disgusting.
ain't living, my friend.
Nah, it's just straight up disgusting.
Yeah, you're just not living.
Alright, so our next point is to not be boastful when you're in your highs. So, I think a good reason we shouldn't be boastful in our highs is because people are in their highs and lows at different times. And if we're being boastful throughout our highs, it feels like we're almost disrespectful to the people that are at low points in their lives. Like, we talk about everything that's going good in our lives, and somebody else's life at that point in time could just be going really, really crappy. So we gotta be careful and keep it in check. Like, it's a good thing to be happy about things going right for a change, but we have to do it in moderation too.
I think I think you see this most common within large friend groups or people dating. Maybe if you have a really close friend, they're dating someone, and you're just kind of by yourself. I see this a lot within school. You see these large friend groups that are you have all these people within that group, and they're all dating someone, but then you have people within that group that aren't dating anyone, and you see these people that are dating having fun with the person that they're with, and the person that isn't dating, they're having a third party everywhere. And no one likes the third wheel or third party, whatever.
What are you talking about? Third wheel's the best spot because there's no commitments to
No,
it.
you're in denial.
You're right.
Third wheeling is not something fun because you feel more lonely yourself, and especially if it's like a sport or like a group activity, and there's dating within that group activity, and half the people in your part are dating, and it's like you and one other person are kind of by yourself because though your friends just kind of leave you because there's nothing wrong with that, but it kind of feels like sometimes that you're not worth anything, and you are worth something, obviously. So we just need to keep your mind straight and realize that that low in your life when you're like, I'm not wanted, I'm not this, or I'm not that. You gotta realize that low is part of growing, and it's there for a reason. You can't just be like, oh, woe is me, pity me. No.
We can.
No.
Oh,
You just,
ruh-roh.
you may be going through a rough patch because you may think you're ready, but you're not ready. And at the right time, someone will reveal themselves to you for a reason. And I don't mean take their pants off and show you what's chugging the train down there.
Whoa. That's called lust. You can just say lust.
No, my analogy was funnier.
Sorry. I had a sneeze.
You're lying.
anyways, to continue on with that, so since the first episode, I think even on episode 3, I mentioned some stuff about loneliness that I've learned more about it over time, and genuinely, you have to be comfortable with being lonely. You just have to be. It sucks. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt, but that's when you get to know yourself. And if you don't even know who you are, why do you deserve to be in a relationship? And I'm not saying you're undeserving of being in a relationship, but you have to be able to be like, I know who I am without a second person. A female or male counterpart to your relationship, just, what's it called? Like, not a companion. I'm trying to, a partner. Yeah, there we go. A partner in a relationship. It shouldn't be a need or a want. A partner in a relationship will be ready when you are ready for it. You can't just be idly waiting for a partner and just doing nothing to better yourself. We have to take advantage of that waiting by healing ourselves, by understanding who we are without a second person to have to strongly worry about. Now, friendships, that's a little different. Keep doing your friendships. Friendships are awesome. Can be.
But, like, idly waiting for someone is not something you...
Oh, I'm dying, dude. Keep going.
Idly waiting for someone is not the best plan, because if you don't know who you are, that's going to affect, let's say you do find someone, and you do get married, and you do have kids. That not knowing who you are without your other person will heavily affect how you raise or treat someone else, because you won't know what the best plan of action is when your child comes to you and says, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're like, well, I didn't know either. So it's really important to figure out who you are before you figure out who you are with someone else.
It's my birthday today. It's not my birthday.
Yeah, you liar.
My birthday isn't for a while.
What does this have to do with what I was talking about?
I don't know.
You gonna carry on from what I was talking about?
The waiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get into Christianity for a second real quick.
Whoa, do we really need to get religious?
It's who I am, yeah.
I mean, me too, but like...
Well, if they don't want to listen, they don't have to. It's
That's
their
fair. I
choice.
can't skip this part. Alright.
Yeah.
Skip to the timestamp.
There is no timestamp. Don't even tell them to skip. They can fast forward if they want.
Well,
I don't gotta tell them.
No, okay. Fair enough.
Anyways, in Christianity, we have this, not like, cultish thing, but we have a point where, at least in my church, we've emphasized we have to take advantage of the waiting. It's about bettering you. It's about making yourself ready. So whether that's diving deep into scripture, whether that's diving deep into prayer or worship, we have to incorporate all these things to not waste the waiting. If you're going to sit down idle throughout it, you're wasting insanely valuable time that you could be doing anything you want. Like seriously, you could build a castle in that time if you really felt like it. And it might be wasted, it might not be, but if you are bettering yourself throughout the waiting process, you're not wasting it. It may feel like a waste of time because nothing is happening, but the waiting is your most valuable time ever. It's time you're not going to get back, for one, but for two, it is time with little to no commitments besides maybe school or work. And during every other bit of time, you can do whatever you want. So don't waste the waiting. Do something with it.
Yeah, I mean...
Not to get preachy, but to get preachy.
You kind of just summed it up there. Waiting is a part of life. You wait in line everywhere you go. You wait.
Okay, real quick. The Dollywood line is not exactly a chance to better yourself. It could be.
Maybe for like Wild Eagle, that one might be a chance to better yourself. I
Why?
don't think I've ever seen that wait under an hour before.
Oh, me and undisclosed name and Harrison.
It'd be undisclosed name, Harrison and I. You fool.
Anyways, we were there, and we were actually able to get on the Wild Eagle 4 times in a row.
How many times?
4. Shut up. Anyways, we were able to do it 4 times in a row, and that was crazy. I never rode the Wild Eagle before. That was worth it, especially with like I think the longest we actually had to wait was just 2 minutes, being one at a time. So yeah, it was great. Best time to go, January 6th. They're open January 6th. As long as it's not too cold, they will let you ride all the roller coasters.
Well, I think you also wouldn't have to be rated the Capitol building to go to that. Because they raided the Capitol building on January 6th.
No,
I'm gonna jump you after this recording.
Anyways, second part of the not being boastful. Again, this was back in, I do remember. It was during a Sunday men's Bible study. We were talking about not being boastful about the things we have or don't have, because just as quick as you have something, it can be gone. So all that boasting you do about, yeah, I have the hippest, coolest job ever, or heck yeah, I'm getting big buckaroonies, or heck yeah. Just heck yeah. So yeah, being boastful, it's cool to talk about it. It's cool to tell people like what's happened in your life, but there's a thin line between just telling people and straight up bragging. So that goes back to not being boastful in front of people that are kind of having a low point in life. So just as quick as you may get something, you may get it taken and back away, or life may become low again very quick. So just understand that in moderation. So we need to understand, and this brings us to our next point, and kind of last point for the night. We need to understand how we individually react in those highs and lows. Because ultimately, in our highs and lows, if we don't understand how we react, we may be a absolutely terrible person in our friend groups. We may be stingy or harder to deal with. I know I was during a tough point in my life. This dude beside me didn't physically slap me, but slapped me with his words.
No, I did physically slap you as well.
I think it was just word slaps.
No,
Anyway,
I slapped you.
I think it was just word slaps. Anyways, though, we don't condone physical violence.
I know we don't.
Word violence is just as bad, but we can't really stop you from talking.
Like, word violence is one of those things that can be harsh in many ways, but when you really wake someone up to how they've been treating you, I mean, it's crazy. People woke me up this year. I mean, a little bit was not my fault, and some of it was my fault. It was just a rough patch. Wasn't really. People saw me as an asset more than a person, and a lot of people still see me that way, just for what I do, because they expect me to do it rather than they want me to do it, or they want to have a friendship with me. And it's very obvious to tell who actually cares and who doesn't.
But yes, anyways, to get back on track so we can maybe wrap up this episode before the 30-minute mark. We need to understand how we individually react, because, like I said earlier, we can be a bum to our friends. We can take advantage of our friends in our lows just as much as we can in our highs. It's okay to have emotional support in your lows, but we can't force people, or we can't always use people in our lows either. And that sucks to say, because you want people to be there for you in your lows. You really do, because it helps, but you have to be able to support yourself too in your lows, because that's where we start standing up for ourselves and dig ourselves out of the lows. Now, yes, there will be times where you need other people to help you, but you can't always rely on that factor, because somebody's not always going to be there. So I think it's important to keep that in mind.
People aren't crutches, people have feelings, people have emotions, so you can't always expect someone to have the answer for you. Sometimes the answer you have to find it yourself. It's like a hidden treasure, you know? It's like when you're playing Sea of Thieves with your mates, and I don't know where I was going with this.
You haven't played Sea of Thieves with me in like... I actually can't even cite back when.
Well, because you have school,
That's not true.
and I'm busy.
That's not true.
That's a lie, and you know it.
I think last time we played was like indoor season.
Yeah, you're right, it is, yeah.
I think spring break or around Christmas time.
It's something like that.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
But like, you can't just expect someone that just because they have the advice all the time to have it all the time. They may have gone through something similar to what you've gone through, but that doesn't mean they have the answer for everything. You can't just expect one person to be your fallback person, and especially when that person kind of leaves you, not leaves you like in a relationship, but like kind of just doesn't hang around.
Kind of like abandoning you.
Abandoning. When that person kind of abandons you, it can hurt because they helped you so much, and when they don't seem to want to help you anymore, it really stings.
It does. It can open your eyes too, though. It can. It sucks because it is an eye opener, but it also sucks because you realized you could have been hurting the person that has kind of acted as a crutch. And I think we have to understand that as well, because when we don't understand that, we're not necessarily abusing a person, but we're abusing the fact that they're there for us. So that's another reason why being lonely every now and then is a decent thing, because you have to learn to be there for yourself too. And yeah, it does sting. I will mention that it does. And quick word. Some of this is, at least for me, admitting my faults kind of in front of people. And I will say this too, if you are a friend that's listening to this, I am still a decent hypocrite. Like, I try to improve myself.
Well,
Did I say cry or try?
You should try, but everyone's
Okay.
a hypocrite to an extent.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. We're all human, and
Definitely.
especially, I think the biggest hypocrites are all the people that call people out for being hypocrites. Because when you call someone out for being a hypocrite, you're basically saying that you've never done wrong. So I think,
Sort of.
but calling people out for being a hypocrite, people are not perfect. People can forget things. I think you see this biggest in politics, not to get political, but you see many politicians say things and then now they say other things. People have emotions, people have feelings, people can change their mind about certain viewpoints. One of the biggest examples of this is President FDR. President FDR never wanted to go to war. He never wanted, and Wilson too. They both never wanted to go to war, but given the circumstances, given what happened to America, the Zimmerman telegram, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, they changed their mind. They said, "Hey, this is a problem. People are suffering. I'm changing what I stand for," and they changed what they stand for, and for the better. So, don't call people out for being hypocrites, because you yourself are a hypocrite for calling people out for being hypocrites.
To an extent, I will say, yeah. I think it is important, though, if you know that you're hypocritical about stuff, examine the situation a little bit different. Because if you know for a fact you're being a hypocrite and you're giving advice, take a second to listen to your own advice. Because if your advice is, to an extent, true, and it's good advice, but it goes against how you're living your life out, you need to re-examine your life from afar. And it's not that, being a hypocrite isn't like the worst thing you can do, but it isn't a good thing either. So it's just a good thing to check yourself. And one thing, like to finish closing up for the night, I kind of want to talk about how I manage, and maybe Jackson will also talk about how he manages through highs and lows. For me specifically, at least how I used to, when things were going great, I would brag. I would brag a lot. But as time has gone on and people kind of stopped caring about what I had to say, that's when I was like, you know what, people don't care if life is good, because, you know, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. But it also lets you kind of understand you need to keep some things to yourself. It's not like people abandoned me and just weren't listening to what I had to say. But it was more kind of a check for myself, because I realized, oh crap, the only time that I really talk about stuff is when I have something to brag about. So that is definitely something important that we all have to realize within ourselves. So how I manage them now, I try to enjoy the highs in life. I try to enjoy the good, and I also enjoy the bad, because we can learn from the bad too. And we just have to understand that life, it gets better. There should never be a point in your life where life gets so bad that you have to exert extreme force, in a sense, to make things better, in a sense that only makes sense to you. So that's without going into detail about what I'm talking about, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So, in a sense, just enjoy your highs, but enjoy the good times. Enjoy the fact that life is going well.
And not every high has a low to it. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Lows have lows and highs have highs. And they're not like magnets that attract and push away from each other. Every high can have a higher and every low can have a lower, but eventually things will get better, and that's how highs and lows work.
Every yin has its yang. In the words of Metro Man? Yes, Metro Man.
He didn't say that, but I'm sure some Chinese guy.
No, he said something like that. He said, hey, little buddy, every yin has its yang, or something like that.
Every good has its evil. That's what he said.
No, I will search it up right
I
now.
watched the movie last night.
Megamind is not endorsed. Talk about your stuff. Talk about your stuff.
What stuff?
Were you not going to talk about how you deal with highs and lows?
Oh, I mean, I can if you want me to.
While I'm searching this, yes, please.
Highs and lows. It's like a good Chinese restaurant and a bad Chinese restaurant. You know, you go there and you get your noodles and your General Tso's, but like one's gonna have a really bad one and one's gonna have a really good one.
You know, little buddy, there's a yin for every yang. If there's bad, good will rise up against it. And it has taken me a long time for me to find my calling. Now it's time to find yours.
Okay, so we were both right.
Well, we were arguing about the facts whether there was yin or yang.
We were both right to an extent.
Fine. Anyways.
But you know, life is like a box of chocolate.
No, we're not going to keep quoting movies.
You never know what you're gonna get when you open it. But you're always surprised when you do. I'm pretty sure John Wilkes Booth said that.
Okay. Well,
And
if he's going to say it, he's got to say it correctly. My mama said life was like a box of
you're making
chocolates.
fun of a special needs person. You really want to do that?
Forrest Gump wasn't... Wait, was he?
Yes.
But I love Forrest Gump, so it's fine.
Just don't do it.
Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Jedi.
You made me lose my train of thought.
The yin yang, highs, lows, good, bad, evil.
In those highs and lows, you don't need to act like a different person. Sure, you may feel sad, but you don't need to pretend like you're something you're not. You don't need to be a dude disguised as another dude playing another dude.
I've
Robert
heard that.
Downey Jr. said that in Tropic Thunder. Because he was playing a dude disguised as another dude. Playing another
Don't explain Tropic Thunder. Don't explain.
But you know, that's a really important thing there. Like, yeah, it's a silly quote, but you don't need to pretend to be something that you're not.
By pretending you're something that you're not.
Yeah.
While pretending to be something you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be yourself. And if people don't like it, then
There's a problem with it.
yeah.
Well, sometimes it's like a.
Sometimes it is their problem. Sometimes
It's a bitter pill that's hard to swallow sometimes, but then you get past it and then you're like, man, this person's actually kind of chill.
like girls.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm tired.
It's not even 11 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. We're not pre-recording the episodes.
Yeah, this is all in live time. We definitely have a script.
This one actually wasn't near as scripty as episode 3.
You may be wondering where Harrison is.
He's playing a gig with recording with our friend Liam.
He's
as
in-
mentioned in episode 2.
He's in Nashville, so he's If you're in Nashville, what's up?
They're not gonna get this at the same time.
You don't know that.
Yeah, fair. Anyways, thank you for listening tonight. Overall, I think that's all we had to discover about highs and lows. Discuss and discover, because I meant to say discuss. But
Tune in next week
for
when we talk about what the best kind of orange is. Personally, mine is
Mandarin. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
We actually also we discuss what the color yellow is, because
Why
yellow.
are you announcing fake stuff?
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
We have a couple of episodes coming up. Next one or next couple will probably be another interview and another one kind of about personal identity, which we'll discuss later on.
And a Halloween special, because why not? Because that's coming.
And well, actually, if we posted this next, then the Halloween special would be the next episode after. No,
It'd be on Halloween.
the Halloween special would be before this. Oh no! How does time work?
What if you just post it on Halloween?
I'm not posting this on Halloween
Why not?
because it's not a seasonal episode, it's a mainstream
So I
episode.
post the Halloween one on Halloween.
Yeah, and then I post this one on November 2nd.
Tennessee plays Kentucky that day. Go Vols.
Oh wait, that's copyrighted. No. I'm not gonna finish singing it.
Yeah, we don't need to get sued by the Pride of the Southland.
They don't have they have rights to the song.
Still.
But
Hey, if Powell High School can play it, we can play it.
not on here though, because they also have rights.
You're right.
Anyways, from all of us here at the 11 o'clock show, good night.